Can we go like a lights, camera, action? Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. This is kind of like, this is going to be probably my first ever uploaded video. I have filmed this video about 10 or 12 times among many other videos, and I have always just talked myself out of putting them anywhere or doing anything with them. So today is not that day. Today we're gonna put it on. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. So I'm extremely scared and I'm extremely nervous and I'm so, look, every day I don't do this, I get angry at myself for not doing this. So we're just gonna do it. There's gonna be a bunch of different stuff on my channels. There's gonna be like get ready with me, which is what this video is gonna be, which we're gonna create this. I am not very good at makeup. Please, by all means, leave me comments and criticism, and if you know of better ways for me to be applying my makeup, things that I should be doing or whatever, just let me know, because I am so new to this, and any feedback to make it better and easier and all of that would be golden. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. So, we're gonna do our makeup and we're gonna talk about some stuff, because what is that? So I've been wanting to do this for like a hot second, and I haven't. Oh, found a brush. I haven't because I kind of always make excuses for myself, kind of. Oh god, hang on, I feel like I'm not in the middle, and that's just messing with my head. I kind of make excuses for myself not to do it, I think. Like, my audio is crap. Like, I've recorded about 10 videos now, and none of them are gonna see the light of day because I'm a pussy, basically. But I basically decided that I'm just gonna kind of bite the bullet, because honestly, it's something that I really want to do, and every day that I don't upload something, I kind of kick myself about it. So I don't really know where this channel is going. I know that I've been learning a lot to do makeup, and I know that I talk to myself about lots of different things. Mostly like, when you talk to someone, you have a conversation with someone, particularly if it's like a conflict, and then you walk away and you think of all the cool shit you could have said. I kind of recreate those a lot, but that's not what we're going to talk about, because that would be weird. And I just think about a lot of stuff. So I thought that I would sit down and practice my makeup and talk about some crap. I am going to be doing like a true crime kind of thing. So we're going to do that. And I was going to do the true crime while I practiced my makeup, but then I realised that it wasn't actually an original idea, because I watch Bailey Sarian's videos borderline religiously. So I'm in Australia, obviously. Don't know if you can tell by my accent. Well, I mean, I'm Australian. So for me, Bailey's Makeup Mystery Mondays comes out like in the middle of the night, or like very, very, very early Tuesday morning. So I usually watch them while I'm getting ready for work. So I decided that that was an original idea, and that instead I was just gonna talk shit, basically. I don't know why I'm scrubbing my face so damn hard. That's probably not very good for it. So we're just going to talk about some random stuff, some stuff that I looked at during the week, some stuff that I picked up, some stuff that I thought was interesting. Kind of like lunchroom at work conversation. Because I generally don't really have lunch breaks at work, at least not long ones. Like, I do take them, but I'm really busy. So I kind of just either eat on the go, or like by the time I get to lunch there's nobody left. Like, everybody else has already eaten, so I miss out on that like convo, So that's what we're going to talk about. This is like, it's lunchroom chats for your lunch break. watch this on your lunch break if you want. I'd be honoured. Don't know if we'll ever get that far, if anybody will even watch these, but look, like I said, this is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. If I fail miserably, cool beans. At least I can say I tried. You know? That's the right attitude to have, isn't it? So, if you guys do want to know, like if you care about what I'm using, just let me know, and I guess I can start listing it. Honestly, it's nothing fantastic, except for my glam light stuff. My glam light stuff is like my baby because I love glam light. I basically love anything that's kind of novelty-ish, so like I'm really chasing after pretty much every food related item that Glamlight has, and I really want like the Storybook Cosmetics, like I want their stuff, and there's a couple other things like Hershey's, anything food related I'm good with. So if y'all can think of anything, I'm kind of broke at the moment, but if y'all can think of anything that you think I would like that I probably don't know about, let me know, and I'll look into getting it, because I really like trying that stuff and it's really exciting. Yeah, it's really exciting. I also absolutely love Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson, but because I live in Australia, I missed their launch. It was at a real weird time. I think it was at like 7 a.m, which wasn't that bad, but it was like a work day. I got kids and I just forgot. And then I was really sad that I forgot. Really sad that actually no, I think it was like 4 a.m. Anyway, I was really sad that I missed out. It was. It's restocking in March, but I'm saving up to go to Orlando at the end of next year, and I don't know if I can, you know? But anyway. So, I mean, today, we're going to talk about me a little bit. We're going to talk about you a little bit. I wish you guys could talk back to me. That would be so much more fun. Like if we could just sit here and have a conversation. I reckon it'd be awesome. Just, you know? I just don't think that anybody cares enough about me yet for me to like do a live or something. I don't even really know how to do those. This is like, yeah, anyway. So today we're going to talk about, I was on Reddit. So I spent a lot of time in general on Reddit. It's interesting. It's interesting to know other people's thoughts on things. I don't really use it for any form of gossip or anything like that. Or even like, I just use it for just interesting stuff, which is kind of how I decided I was going to do true crime, and how I started looking for true crime videos on YouTube was because I was on a lot of like boards on Reddit, and I ended up spending like hours reading this stuff, and it was just, I mean, it's fascinating. I don't know if it should be fascinating to me, but it is. It's bloody fascinating, and I really enjoy it. And like when I was a kid, like I'd go to my uncle's. He's not really my uncle. He's my dad's best friend. We just call him uncle because that's what you do here. I don't know if you guys do that there. But anyway, I've known him for as long as I can remember. So he's uncle, his wife's auntie. So we used to watch. Me and my uncle would have like binges, and I mean binges of like America's toughest prisons and stuff like that. I mean, we have prisons in Australia, but they're not as like hardcore, I don't think. I mean, I don't know, I've never been. I've been there. And then we'd like, I like live for the true crime documentaries. Was it that, is NFL? I don't really know what your football is, what American football is called. Is it NFL? That player, the Aaron guy, his like series just came out. My boss loves it too. He was asking, have you finished it yet? And Making a Murderer was really, really good. And I love that stuff. And my husband thinks it's so weird. And he's just like, what? Like, I think he thinks that I'm studying ways to kill him. I'm not. Nope. Anyway, so I am going to be doing a true crime segment because I find it really interesting. I really like it. And then I'm going to be doing a few videos with my little sister and possibly my dad. My dad is bloody hilarious. He is where I get my lovely sense of humour from. So anywho, we're going to be doing that. Today, we're going to talk about cartoons. Or at least a couple of them. So I'm a 90s kid. And I can say that because I was born in the early 90s. So the early, like, people are like, oh my god, I'm a 90s kid. And then you find out they were born in 1999 and you're kind of like, yeah, sure, technically. But not really. So, cartoons. We're back to cartoons. It actually involves this guy right here. This guy. This is Chucky. He's a kind of half grown up version of Chucky though. So the Rugrats one was basically like about Angelica, and this is honestly probably a really well known conspiracy theory. I just had never heard it before, and I thought it was really super interesting. So we're going to talk about it today. I loved the Rugrats when I was a kid, but this conspiracy theory really messed with my head for a number of different reasons. One is that, like, I don't understand how you can look at a kids' TV show and come up with this. And the other part is that you came up with this and it makes sense. So the theory is basically that all the babies are dead. They're all dead. Like, they were alive at one point, but they're all currently dead. And basically, Angelica, the kid, like the girl who's, I don't know how old she is, like 7 maybe, in the show, basically, she can't handle it, and so she like conjures up the babies, and they're all a part of her like imagination, you know. So first off, when I read that, like, no, that's not a thing. That can't be a thing. How do people think of this shit, you know? So apparently this is all in her imagination. So Chucky, a little Chucky over here, he basically, apparently he died with his mum, because you know, like in the series, his mum is dead. God, that was a friggin' harsh way to say it, wasn't it? It's a cartoon character, but nobody cares. Anyway, so his mum died in the actual show. So the theory is that he also died. Oh, Bruce. Which apparently took place in 1986. Which apparently is why his dad is so neurotic. But I mean, see, this is the thing. I'm going to go along and I'm probably going to attempt to debunk this shit, which is probably no fun, but I'm going to do it anyway. So, like, he does this, so he's really neurotic. And, I mean, but I don't know about you, but, like, if my husband died in, like, some kind of a way, like a car accident or whatever, which is how they're saying that Chucky and his mum passed, I mean, I'd be pretty neurotic too, I think, with my remaining family, like, with my boys. I'd probably be, I mean, at least for a little while. I mean, Chucky's only, 2 in the show, so it hadn't been that long since she, you know. Next up was Tommy. So apparently Tommy was born like Chucky. So apparently he was born, but he was stillborn, which is so sad. See, this is why I don't understand how you can look at a kid's show and come up with these theories, because I'm just like, how do you look at a baby and just, like, imagine them being that? Apparently he was stillborn, and which is why Stu, good old Stu, his puppy, is always in the basement making toys for the son who never got the chance to be, you know. Which, again, so, like, when they explain it, it does kind of make sense, you know? So, where was I at? Oh yeah, stillborn Tommy. So, Tommy was a stillborn. Stillborn. kind of makes sense. Now the twins, Phil and Lil, I love Phil and Lil, they were my favourites. They were, so their parents were pregnant, but they got an abortion, which is pro-choice. You do you, boo. So they got an abortion, and Angelica basically, like in her head, couldn't decide if it was going to be a boy or a girl, so she just made one of each, and they were twins. So basically, this was part of like her mental disorder, and apparently in All Grown Up, I never watched All Grown Up. I had kind of grown out of the Rugrats by the time All Grown Up was a thing. That's how old I am. So apparently she like died of like a drug overdose or something at the end of All Grown Up. That's how All Grown Up ends, which is, I mean, I'm assuming that's bullshit. Angelica theory was actually debunked by the Rugrats creator. So she basically came out at some meet and was like, no, bro. Nope, that's not what happened. Nope. So, I mean, at least we know that's not true. Which honestly, I thought it was kind of a stretch anyway. I didn't think it was a stretch because, I mean, it all kind of lined up, I guess. But then there's other people involved, and like the dog can see them, and then there's like the other little girl that comes in like a little bit later that's like friends with them and is like the same age as Chucky. And then there's Dill, obviously. And then like there's just this other thing, like all the adults crazy because they're talking to the babies and they come and pick up the babies, or is Angelica imagining all of that and it's just like one big delusion? And if so, where did the other kids come, like where the other little girl come from? Where did her parents come from? Like, is she imagining her too, or does this, I mean, I want to say that this other little girl is real, but then she talks to all the babies and stuff, so like, just doesn't make an awful lot of sense to me. Anyway, not the point. We're moving on to SpongeBob. SpongeBob SquarePants, who lives in a pineapple under the sea. Good job. So SpongeBob. There's a few about SpongeBob, and this first one I actually think that I agree with, which is super weird because I generally kind of try to pick apart these things, but I've got nothing really to pick apart in this particular theory. So the theory, one of the theories I found, there's quite a few. So one of the theories I found was basically that like Bikini Bottom is the result of nuclear testing during the Cold War. Stay with me. So during the 40s and 50s, there was a bunch of nuclear testing. There was 23 nuclear tests out of the Marshall Islands. Now, I did not do geography, and I did not think to look it up, so I don't know where the Marshall Islands are, but I'm pretty sure that they're not in the US. And there was a part of the Marshall Islands called Bikini Atoll. I don't know exactly like what that is. I'm assuming it's a body of water of some description, or a place where land meets sea. I'm not entirely sure. Or maybe it's a part. Hang on. Let's just Google what atoll means. A ring-shaped reef, island, or chain of islands formed of coral. So there is a place in the Marshall Islands, or near the Marshall Islands, next to the Marshall Islands, a part of the Marshall Islands called Bikini Atoll. And at Bikini Atoll, over the 40s and 50s during the Cold War, there was 23 nuclear tests. Again, if I'm doing anything wrong, just let me know because I have no idea what I'm doing. And basically, Bikini Bottom and the characters that live there are a direct result of that happening. Obviously, that's not like a real thing, but it's perfectly feasible to think that that's where the creators of SpongeBob SquarePants got that from. Like, radiation being the cause of like the sponge coming to life, and you know, the starfish who's just basically a stoner, and you know, them living in houses, like, you know, radiation does weird things. The Simpsons gave us a 3-eyed fish because of nuclear waste and yada yada yada. So like, it's not completely ridiculous to think that that's where the creators might have got that from. And I don't know if these things have been debunked or not by the creators. I really don't know. I really just find this stuff interesting. I want to talk about it. If you know if it's been debunked or confirmed or anything like that, feel free to let me know, because like I said, I am genuinely interested and I want to know. So yeah, that is theory number 1. I'm not mad at that. I don't think that was a bad blending effort, but I'm going to kind of clean off my brush a little bit. I really need a brush cleaner, like one of those swirly things, because I don't have very many brushes, so I kind of end up using the same one. Or like when I want to blend the top out so that the line isn't so harsh, I have to like really scrub, which I do on my leg. So, theory number 2. Now, this theory, look, I'm not loving it, in honesty. I'm not a huge fan of it, only because you get about halfway through it and things don't really start to make sense. Or like you see it, but it's a stretch. Like it's you know. Okay, so the 7 main characters of SpongeBob apparently represent the 7 deadly sins. And you'll understand what I'm talking about not really making sense when I get about halfway through the list of characters. So basically, and this is the thing, is it doesn't even start with the main characters. I mean, it starts with like Patrick and Mr. Krabs and stuff, but SpongeBob's like a way at the bottom. Like, if you had that theory, don't you think that SpongeBob would come after like one of the main ones? So Patrick is Sloth. He is the Sloth, which honestly makes perfect sense, because all he does is sleep. I mean, he's lazy. He's super lazy. And Mr. Krabs is greed, which makes sense. Like the dude, okay, when I first read that they were the 7 deadly sins, I kind of did automatically gravitate towards Mr. Krab being gluttony. But I suppose that gluttony refers more to, I suppose, actual food. But I mean, his greed did kind of make me just think gluttony, you know? So Mr. Krabs is greed, Squidward is wrath, which again, I mean, it makes some sense, really. With him being fucking angry all the damn time. Like, all the damn time. It's just so bloody grumpy. Lighten up, mate. Plankton is envy, which again makes sense. Oh my god, these people have got to stop messaging me. It does make sense. He's always trying to like steal Mr. Krabs' recipes. Not that I think Mr. Krabs doesn't bloody deserve it, but look, I'm not supposed to be judging, so we're not going to judge. So yeah, Squidward is wrath, Plankton is envy, Gary the snail. Gary the snail is apparently gluttony. Now, I have a few problems with this. My first problem is that he's a pet. And I mean, I suppose that when they created the show, they could have purposely put gluttony in the form of a pet. But, like, yeah, I suppose they could have. But to me, he's a pet. I mean, I've got 2 dogs, and the friggin' buggers want to eat non-stop. And I mean, like, non-stop. So I think that that's more of a pet thing than it being a 7 deadly sin thing. But like I said, they could have purposely created Gary to be a pet to better embody gluttony, I guess. See, this is where it starts to become a stretch. Okay, we're getting a bit out of control now. Sandy, you know, the squirrel. I call them squirrels. I'm never not calling them squirrels. They're fucking squirrels. Anyone who's not Australian will get over me saying that. I promise. So Sandy the squirrel is apparently pride, which again, I mean, I suppose I can see it. She's just, I mean, she's kind of prideful, I guess. Not the word I would use to describe her. I would probably use cocky, arrogant. But then again, it's a kids show, so maybe they're trying to be positive, even though they're called the 7 deadly sins. Not really being positive there, are we? Sandy's pride, SpongeBob is lust. I don't know about you, but when I think of the word lust, I think of things that I don't think I'm allowed to say on YouTube. I don't see it. Like, I suppose SpongeBob's desire to be liked a lot could be interpreted as some form of lust, but I think maybe it's just the way I was, or the time period, I guess, that I was raised in, that lust is very much like a thing, you know? What was I talking about? Okay, so the next theory, sorry, I got really sidetracked by how pretty that was, and it kind of blew my mind a little. But I don't know if it looks good from a distance. I haven't decided yet. Look, I haven't decided yet. The next theory is that Squidward, I never know how to say his name. Squidward, just say it really fast and hope that it sounds correct. Is SpongeBob's guardian. So apparently, SpongeBob's folks are like uber rich, and SpongeBob is technically an adult, but he's like mentally impaired. This is the theory. This is not my, judgment call on the matter. Basically, because they want him to have like an independent life and, go out and do all the things that normal adults do, like get a job and stuff, rather than locking him up and having him, live with them and not have any freedom and stuff. They hire like a bodyguard in the form of the Squid, who is not really a squid, by the way. He's not. At least I don't think he is. I heard somewhere that he wasn't. I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe that's not a conspiracy theory. Oh look, I'm not mad. So the theory is that they hired Squidward to basically kind of look after SpongeBob, but like from a distance. So that's why he like never really moves, even though SpongeBob annoys the absolute crap out of him, and why he like puts up with his shenanigans so much. Is because he's paid to. For lack of a better term, he is paid to. Can't leave his job, so he stays living next door, stays working at the same place, the same dead-end job that he hates. Which, by the way, he's proven kind of like time and time again that he is too smart for. Like, there's another one. There's another one that basically says, this one I think is a stretch. Like, I just don't think that this is what the creators had in mind when they created the kids show. It basically says, I've poked myself in the eye so much with this eyeliner. My eyes are red now. So it basically says that the whole of SpongeBob is like about global warming. And so SpongeBob represents a kitchen sponge, which is like pollution and waste and whatnot. Which honestly doesn't really make much sense. Like, wouldn't it make more sense that he was a sea sponge? So he represents pollution and waste. Mr. Krabs represents large corporation. I really need to start getting my stuff out before, Yeah, and then, so Mr. Krabs is like large corporation, which, that part sort of makes sense to me. Kind of weird ass kind of way, like, because he is just a dick, really. And large corporations in general are just money hungry dicks. Do I think they're causing pollution? No. Do I think they're helping? Definitely not. So Patrick, good old Patty, he represents like Western civilization. I mean, yeah, like I said, the whole Western civilization thing, stretch, man. Stretch. It being about pollution and global warming, huge stretch. Like, don't get excited, you know? It's probably a vegan that came up with that. Oh. The last one is basically that all of the characters in SpongeBob are high on a variety of drugs. So basically, SpongeBob is on shrooms, which is why he's so kind of like the happy-go-lucky guy all the time. Which kind of makes... Oh my god, I poked myself in the eye. And then Patrick is he's a stoner. 100% he's a stoner. Which again makes perfect sense because he's always tired and has the munchies. He's like Scooby-Doo and Shaggy. Yeah. Think about that for a second. Squidward apparently is on heroin. Now, see, I don't want to speculate. I've never met anybody who's addicted to heroin. It says that that's why he's paranoid. Oh no, not why he's paranoid. Why he's so like neurotic. I don't know. See, like I said, I don't want to speculate because I just don't know. Because I've never met anyone on that before. So, yeah. Don't know. Cannot comment. And then, should I do a bold lip or should I do a normal lip? Should I do a nude? It's not entirely horrible. It's not fantastic, but it's not entirely horrible. So yeah, the whole Squidward thing, he's on heroin, which again, you know, I can't comment. And Mr. Krabs is apparently on cocaine. So, which is why he's so paranoid about everyone stealing his money. Which I don't know, I guess. I've never had a lot of money, so I don't know. So, again, thank you guys so much for sticking around if you did stick around. If there is anything in particular that you would like to talk about on these days, or that you would like me to talk about, current events, recent stuff, whatever, really, I would be more than happy to do that. And yeah, I will talk to you later.